In 1911, Dr. William Lee Howard declared that ignorance of sex hygiene, particularly regarding a girl's blossoming period, was responsible for most of the misery, disease, and poverty among women. It's a striking claim from his book, Confidential Chats with Girls, and suggests a far different understanding of female health and societal well-being than we hold today. Eleanor, what was Dr. Howard's central argument here, and why did he feel such a book was necessary?
Clara, Dr. Howard believed the American girl, aged 14 to 18, was terribly neglected in her education. He felt physical exercise and moral lessons were insufficient. The crucial missing piece, he argued, was instruction based on proper sex development and hygiene. He had seen countless girls and wives whose health was ruined for life due to what he called ignorance or false ideas concerning sex activities. His aim was to provide these plain facts to stop future mothers from suffering and from bringing up their daughters in a state of criminal prudery.
So he positions himself as a revolutionary, offering truth that others, even parents, were too ignorant or prudish to share. But he frames these truths within a very specific worldview, talking about God's laws. How does he connect natural processes to human development?
He explains that the same natural laws governing the development of rosebuds or pussy willows also control a girl's journey to womanhood. He uses examples from nature, like roses marrying and having little children, or how eggs from hens won't hatch without a rooster. His point is that life, growth, and development are governed by universal principles, and the mating of the male with the female is fundamental to all living things. He insists that understanding these laws means there can be nothing wrong, indelicate, or shameful in knowing all about these matters.
That's a powerful statement for the era. Yet, he then ties this knowledge to specific physical processes, particularly menstruation, which he calls the girl's springtime. What advice does he give about this crucial period? He stresses the absolute importance of care during menstruation. He warns that a girl's ovaries, which begin to develop around age 10, and her womb are delicate organs. Rough play, strain, or carelessness during this monthly period may ruin you for life. He says the womb, while tender and not fully attached, accumulates blood monthly. A girl must protect this budding process with thankfulness, much like a gardener tends to delicate plants. The idea of ruining oneself is quite dramatic. What specific physical dangers does he link to this ignorance or carelessness during menstruation? He paints a grim picture. He describes injuries to the womb and ovaries, which can lead to misplacements, making childbirth dangerous or even impossible. He connects this to severe pains, tumors, hysteria, and even mental failing. He explicitly states that most of the misery, disease, and poverty among women stems from ignoring these details. He recounts a story of a 15-year-old girl who became an invalid and was childless because she was not properly educated about her body, including the dangers of mumps affecting the ovaries. He attributes women's troubles or female weakness directly to ignorance. So he places a heavy burden of responsibility on girls and mothers, implying that suffering is a direct consequence of this lack of knowledge. Does he offer any practical, everyday advice beyond simply being careful? He offers extensive practical advice. He cautions against rough play, active sports, standing all day, or dancing late during menstruation. For the first 2 years, girls should be quiet, get plenty of sleep, eat good food, and limit exercise to walking, swimming, and gentle bending. He even says skating is acceptable if not overdone and if feet stay warm and dry. He identifies constipation as a curse for American girls, linking it to poor skin, bad breath, and hardened arteries later in life. His remedy for many ills is drinking plenty of water by the quart daily. He also insists on warm sponge baths during menstruation to wash away telltale odors, debunking the idea that bathing should be avoided during this time. He argues that a good complexion and clear skin are signs of perfect health, not dependent on external applications. He says emotions like muddy thoughts, jealousy, or anger directly affect skin tone. He believes skin issues during puberty, like pimples, are natural, a springtime for the skin. But girls ruin this by using powders or creams, which clog pores and lead to worse problems like acne. He vehemently advises against artificial hair additions, tight collars, and even shared brushes, as they impede circulation, collect germs, and ultimately cause hair loss and poor complexion. He believes men, quote, detest this ill-smelling and dead hair that girls pile on their heads. It sounds like he ties everything back to health and natural functioning. He also focuses heavily on nerves and willpower, describing a highly sensitive nervous organization as a woman's greatest gift. How does he advise girls to cultivate this?
He argues that a powerful and well-adjusted nervous system is the basis of all willpower and self-control. He criticizes the idea that nervous women are a product of modern life, asserting that it's actually due to a failure to train nervous forces. He equates the nervous system to the motor of the body and says physical exercise should never fatigue this motor. He tells girls to avoid physical contests, especially between 14 and 20, as they should be training for motherhood. Instead of intense exercise, he advocates rest, deep breathing, and morning mental work. He even offers a systematic approach to developing willpower by identifying faults and working on them individually, much like physical training.
So his vision of womanhood is one of perfect physical and mental health, leading ultimately to successful motherhood, achieved through rigorous self-discipline and adherence to these natural laws. What's the ultimate reward, in his view, for following his advice?
The reward is a life of perfect health, attractiveness, and the ability to be a blessing, not a burden. He states, a girl in perfect health is moral, and that good physical and mental health prevents uncontrollable evil thoughts, linking morality directly to physiological well-being. He concludes by saying that understanding these sex laws and caring for the body is a duty for everyone, a form of insurance toward the development of sterling manhood and womanhood.
It's clear Dr. Howard saw his work as a vital intervention against ignorance and prudery, aiming to reshape how girls understood and cared for their bodies. If you found this conversation insightful, consider sharing the episode with someone who would appreciate it.